Hey guys, Wayne Jennings here. Got myself a new tent I'm gonna check out. Now this is made by a company called UNIGEAR. And just to be upfront with you, I didn't pay for this tent. They send it to me for free. They're not paying me to do this review. But I'm out in the woods here, checking it out. And so far, I'm pretty impressed. It's a two-person tent. It has doors on both sides, dual vestibules, folds up pretty compact, weighing in at about 6.7 pounds. So it's, it's not too heavy, easy to backpack or put in your canoe. Okay, I'm just about to set this up, but before I do, I just want to bring your attention to the case that it's in. Most tents have kind of like a tube with a drawstring on the end, which is fine, but sometimes it's hard once it's rolled up to stuff it inside. This is more like a duffel with an open top. It's got these little clasps that release. There's also a carrying handle on there, and then there's a drawstring there with a flap. And basically, you can just put it in, take it out very, very easy. So we're gonna set this up now. We'll bring in my buddy Dominic here to help me set this up. It's a two-man tent, so we got two men setting it up, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so there we go. There are aluminum poles. There's 4 aluminum poles here. So Dominic, why don't you start assembling those? I'll spread out the tent.
Of course, I'll trade you.
Yeah, we got tent pegs in here, of course. It comes with these very small, I'll show you while Dominic's setting that up. It comes with these very small, lightweight aluminum pegs. Nice red color, which is nice because it's easy to see if you drop them. A lot of tents come with those aluminum color ones. I find you lose them in the sand. These are pretty easy to see if you do drop them. And they're nice and light and fairly strong. Now there are 4 poles. They're all made out of aluminum. 2 main cross poles and then 2 smaller poles that go side to side. And that just pushes the tent out to give you more, interior wall space. So we're just gonna unfold the tent here. This tent doesn't come with a footprint, but it does come with a fly, of course. There are 2 doors, one on each side. And it has 2 vestibules that extend, one on either door. So we've got these long ones put together. So they go on a diagonal and they run through this, there's these fabric tubes on the top. So let's just make sure we got the diagonal tubes. There's one. So I'll run this one through and then you can grab that side. Now, let's just run the other one through before we hook the ends in. Yeah, I got this end. Okay, just run it through this tube. So now we've made like an X pattern. Once we get that through. There we go. So what we're just going to do is take the poles and attach them to the little grommets. There's one on each corner here. They're made out of metal, so they're good and sturdy. So let's start with that one. Dominic, you put that side in.
It's in.
Okay, then I'll lift this up all the way and put this one in. So we got one. Now why don't you do that bottom one for me down there?
Sure. It's in.
Okay, and then we'll do this corner. And as you can see, there's your basic freestanding tent now. Now we'll use these smaller cross poles.
Should we clip the tent up first?
No, we'll get these smaller cross poles here. And we'll slide them in. They also go in there's a tube in the front and a tube on the back. Just slide them through. And then there's also these little metal grommets. One goes in this side, so I'll get this side, and then you can get that side. And then that just extends the tent out. So you don't have the walls sloping, you have a lot more interior room. Then of course there's these little clasps all the way around just to secure it on the pole. And basically now it's a freestanding tent. You can pick it up, reposition it, move it wherever you want. There's a door on each side, and there's a fly that goes on top. Might as well put the fly on as well. And the fly, just for quickly putting it on, there's a little snap at the bottom of each corner that snaps on at the bottom where the main poles go down. You can also then hook up guy wires and pegs or tie it to trees for extra security. But for now, we're just going to clip these on the bottom, on each corner. And there's a window on the front and the back with a little extension here that you can open up for extra airflow. So as you can see, that didn't take us long at all. Pretty straightforward. And for 2 people, seems like a pretty roomy tent. Inside, this tent does feel pretty roomy. Certainly having these cross braces pushes the walls out, so it feels like there's lots of room in here. In fact, it's 55 inches wide, so that's plenty of room for 2 sleeping bags side by side, and it's 86 inches long. Lots of room to lie down and stretch out. Now there's a couple little pockets in here, one on each side, so each person has a little cubby hole there if you want to store your cell phone or GPS or your car keys or something like that. There's also a storage pocket at the foot of the tent. This one's nice and wide, about 12 inches. Again, lots of room in there to put things like your phone or your GPS, things like that, your maps. The whole upper side of this tent is this no-see mesh. It's very fine, so the little tiny biting bugs won't get in. And on the side doors, there's a separate opening for a window to allow for more ventilation. The floor is this fairly rugged 150 denier polyester material. It's waterproof, and all around it comes up a good 6 inches to help keep water out, if it's raining and splashing outside. When the fly is on this tent, you end up with 2 vestibules. Of course, there are 2 doors on each side. Now they're a little different. The one on this side is your traditional vestibule. It zips from the bottom. There's also Velcro on here to help secure it. And there's this little overlaying flap to keep water out. But this opens up, so there's lots of room. There's some storage inside there. Also, I should mention on the fly, all the inside seams have seam sealing tape to keep them waterproof. So that's the vestibule on this side. Traditional. I'll show you on the other side. It's slightly different. So on this side, this is what I like to call a cargo door, because this has a zipper on each side, and then you have this big door that opens up. You can, of course, roll it up and fasten it to the top. Nice big opening, and you have room on each side to store things that you don't want to put in the tent, like your boots or a camera case or things like that.